Is it good? What are the upsides? Oh, dude, it's great news. It's great news. So, we are in a world where we just talked about Gearbox screwing over Risk of Rain. We talked about Ubisoft, launching Star Wars Outlaws and screwing over so many things like basic stealth mechanics to this, that, and what have you. Like it's just oh my god, the amount of trash that we've gotten from these AAA companies is insane. Concord. Look at Concord. I mean, look at the designs of Concord. Look at this. Who would buy this? Who would buy this? No one. That's the answer. You can tell because the game's dead. I'll cover that in another video. And meanwhile, the games industry is trying to prop up the broken game Concord because it's down to like now what 60 players and it's like barely in a playable state. It's actually not even in a playable state in pretty much almost any way, shape, or form. Within a couple of days, they'll probably be completely dead. And instead, the games industry trying to prop it up instead of looking at one of the successes of gaming right now, which is Black Myth Wukong, which is taking the world by storm, deservedly. And instead, they're trying to denigrate the game Black Myth Wukong by saying, oh, it's not diverse enough. It doesn't have enough diversity. It doesn't have enough females and everything. These are the gorgeous women in Black Myth Wukong, guys. These are the gorgeous women. Where's the lack of diversity? Why is it a lack of diversity? I don't understand how this is lack of diversity. There's plenty of diversity in this game. It just has gorgeous. It just has the balls to put gorgeous girls and gorgeous women in the game. And look at the numbers. The numbers are to match. Let's see. Steam DB Black Myth Wukong. Let's see the good news, guys. Let's see the good news. Look at that. It is still, as a single player game, over 1 million concurrent viewers right now. 95.5% positive rating. Do you know why? Because this is a game without BS. This is a game that actually has good player base, fun gameplay, graphical fidelity out the wazoo, and it doesn't nickel and dime you. You buy it for $70. It's a full price game. What do you get? A full game. A good, well-made, actually full game. Yeah, it's crazy. Who would have thunk that not getting nickel and dimed, not having getting bent over by EA or Ubisoft or whatever for four days early access for an extra $40 with quests locked behind day one DLC with beyond all of that $110 for the full price game, and it's a broken piece of shit game as well. Who would have thunk that not having those things, not having microtransactions up the wazoo, not having customization locked behind billions and billions of microtransactions, who would have thought not having that creates a good gaming experience? And as a result, the game is 95.5% positive, and with over 1 million players playing a single-player game, actually 1.4 million, almost 1.5 million at peak hours. This is a huge W. This needs to be shown as one of the biggest W's in all of gaming for the year 2024. And the fact that the games journalism industry is refusing to acknowledge it shows you how bad they are. This is why games journalism is dead. The only people reporting on it are like the rare few, like Paul Tassi, who's one of the few that actually is good. He's at Forbes, and he has reported on it. And all of us, the YouTubers, the Twitch streamers, the actual gamers, us actual gamers, we recognize that Black Myth Wukong is an actually good game. Is it an amazing game? No, it doesn't have to be. See, that's also the other thing, guys. A game like this does not have to be a 10 out of 10. It doesn't have to be Elden Ring. And it's not Elden Ring. I want you to know, I do not think Black Myth Wukong is the best thing since sliced bread. I don't think the gameplay is perfect. I think it's a little too simplistic for me. in terms of like, to hit that 10 out of 10 mark. But the good thing is, it doesn't have to be. We are finally at the stage where we can get a beautifully made game with a lot of passion. It's a simple game, and it is just a good, solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10. It's just, for what it is, a good boss rush action combat game. That is all it's trying to be, and that is all it is, and it does it well. That is all it needs to do. It doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10 game. It doesn't have to blow everything out of the water. It just has to be a good game. A lot of indie games already figured out this formula. How many indie games have you played? And let me know in the comments below what you guys think. How many indie games have you played that didn't blow your mind? But it was a good game. You enjoyed it for whatever genre it was. You had a lot of fun with it, and it didn't break the bank. It didn't, make you pay 30,000 microtransactions or anything like that. It didn't try to squeeze you for money. It was a good, simple game, costed a decent amount. We used to say this was Helldivers, right? Helldivers was only $30, right? And everyone was very happy with Helldivers because it was a decent priced game, and it gave you a good experience for that decent price. And now Helldivers is having its issues, which I've covered, and we'll cover more. But that was what it used to be for Helldivers. And now Black Myth Wukong has taken that mantle, being like, hey, games industry, this is what you can produce if you're not trying to hate your customers, if you're not trying to hate the gamers of the game that you made. And this is one of those things. Devs say I can't. That's not true. Tactical. I debunked that. So see, that's the thing. The games journalism industry is so shit tier, Tactical, that the devs that were said to have said that, it was literally a forced mistranslation. The mistranslation is no longer even able to be found on Games Radar, because Games Radar was forced to take down that article. It was completely unsourced, and they did it on purpose. That's the thing, Tactical. That is what the games journalism industry is doing now. They're literally trying to put their fingers on the scale. It sucks. The game devs never said that.
Monkey.
Yes, monkey indeed. But no, I looked into it, Tactical. I looked into it because, I feel strongly about things like that. I would have covered it. And I can promise you, looking into it, they literally did not say that. It was it was an obtuse mistranslation on purpose. Exactly, Tactical. And a lot of people still don't know. It was insane. It was insane. And yeah, the feminist propaganda shit was stupid. But yeah, that was so the reason that, by the way, guys, we did make fun of them. We did have our title when we played Black Myth Wukong originally as Taiwan #1, feminist propaganda, COVID-19, all that stuff, just to piss off the the attempt at trying to curtail what streamers and content creators say. What they did was they had those rules in place for streamers who got a key from the game developers in order to showcase the game, because the Chinese government forced them to do it. Now, I still don't give them the, I don't give them the out. Like, I don't think it's still okay, but at least it's somewhat understandable that the Chinese government, who's heavily involved with the development of this game, had certain rules when the game key is given out for free. That's what it was. And I still, I still lambasted them for it, Tactical. And I think that is one of the only real downsides of this game, that entire debacle, the fact that the Chinese government is so involved in it, the fact that the Chinese government had these rules in place for streamers and so on and so forth. That thing was dog shit. Like, I'll call it what it is. That entire thing was dog shit. I made my video about it, and it was definitely one of the only real negatives of this game. But it was one of the only real negatives of this game. Besides that, and we now know the context behind it and so on and so forth, it's not like, something that we'll completely forgive, but it's something that we can understand. They didn't want to have, like, the Chinese government burn down their office, which they would do. And when the Chinese government has something they don't like a company has done, they will literally take it over and nationalize it. And they don't care. They'll do it for anyone. They'll do it against anyone. And so it's kind of like a complete dictatorship over there, So it's a bit of a different situation. They don't live in America. They can't, do American things like, say and do what they want, have the things that they want. they have to curtail to, the Chinese standards, unfortunately. But beyond all of that, beyond that one, and it is a striking negative, but beyond that negative, Black Myth Wukong is a W game. And it is a game that the games industry, the games journalism industry, is completely ignoring. And it is the silence is deafening. And I think that you should always call a win a win. And Black Myth Wukong is an absolute win. This is a good game. It is well worth playing. We're going to play it right now. But I definitely wanted to cover it. 500,000 reviews, guys. 500,000 reviews, 95% positive. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's like a really, really interesting situation. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Wash down the bad news with a little bit of good news. It is rare that we, Souls like Elements. Yeah, exactly. Wukong is a game of the year. What other games came out this year? You know what? Let's make the demarcation right now. Let's find out. All major game releases 2024 so far. We'll see. Shit. Good indie game. Shit. Dragon's Dog shit 2. Helldivers was my game of the year until it turned to shit. Silent Hill, we've not really seen Silent Hill come out yet. Alone in the Dark was decent, but not apparently that good. Avowed has not come out yet. Star Wars Outlaws is shit. Stalker 2 has not come out yet. Animal Well is an indie game, but apparently it's really, really good. I haven't played it. Yeah. I mean, for all the games that have come out so far, Balatro is an indie game. Shadow of the Erdtree is only a DLC, so I won't count it. If we count a DLC, then we'd have to count a lot of DLCs. So I do not count DLCs. I do not count remasters. Tekken. Yeah. Prince of Persia. There are some good games, but a lot of good indie games. But not like really big releases. Infinite Wealth, was this like Game of the Year worthy? I don't know. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I heard really good things about that game. I've not played it. Persona 3 Reloaded. That's Suicide Squad. Oh my god, yeah. In a world of Suicide Squads. Holy crap. Guys, I think it might unironically be Game of the Year so far for 2024. I think Black Myth Wukong might actually be so far Game of the Year. I'm looking through the list. I can't find any game that is like a striking like uptick of quality compared to it. Can we count Shadow of the Erdtree? Like I said, if we could count DLCs, I would say it, but we're talking about actual game releases. Shadow of the Erdtree is only a DLC. It's a beautiful DLC. It's an amazing DLC, 10 out of 10 game, but it is a DLC. It's not the game. EA hit a home run? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, any EA game, I mean, if they hit a home run, great. I'm glad it's good. There's no fucking shot that I would give EA College Sports 2025 Game of the Year. If it's good, I'm glad. That's great. That's great news. No, I'm serious. I believe you, dude. I believe you. I would not count it in this conversation as Game of the Year. I've not played it. Another Crab's Treasure. Dude, I heard amazing things about the game. I've not played it, but, it's not AAA. But, out of the AAA games, like the really high quality games, guys, it's honestly looking like straight up. It really is looking like. Oh my god, this is so crazy, dude. Yeah, Return to Monk, which is, like I said, not even a perfect game. It's just a good game. It's just a great game, like an 8 out of 10 game. An 8 out of 10 game is Game of the Year. That's what's going on, guys. We are at the stage where we've had so many shit releases in 2024 that 8 out of 10 is a W game. Armored Core was last year, right? Yeah, Armored Core was last year. Yeah, I played it at launch. Like, dude, I played like 30 hours of it. It was really, really good. Not Wii Sport. That's good. Oh my god. But yeah, I honestly think we literally have a situation where game of the year is a solid and good, but is an 8 out of 10 game, and it is Black Myth Wukong. I don't know of any other good game that is out at a high quality level that is better or more well received than Black Myth Wukong. Unironically, unironically. So you know what? I'll call it. So far, game of the year, Black Myth Wukong. Concord, yeah, Concord. You're right. Concord is better. You're right. Bellatra is amazing. Yeah, I know. Bellatra, like, it's hard to say the reach of these indie games though. And like, in order to reach game of the year status, you have to have like the numbers reach. It is not just quality. It is also, it's like an all-encompassing thing. There's a reason that the game of the year contenders last year was Baldur's Gate 3, not Armored Core 6, even though it was really, really quality. It just didn't have the reach. I think some outlets put Armored Core 6 in the conversation, but like I don't think it was at the games awards or anything like that. What was it called? Alan Wake 2, so on and so forth. It was like games that had like a lot of reach, a lot of reach. Depending on how well it launches. When does Hades 2 launch? Yeah, it was not nominated. Yeah, exactly. So it's because of the reach tactical. Yeah. So only certain games will have the reach to reach the lexicon and conversation of game of the year. Now, indie games can hit that. And I think Helldivers had a shot. But Helldivers has just fallen off so much, it's no longer in that conversation. And not for me, at least. And I was like one of the biggest proponents of it. BTV, it works. I just have to finish my conversation first, okay? Yeah, Super Mario Brothers, Wonder, right? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil 4, Spider-Man 2. Yep, exactly. And Baldur's Gate 3. Exactly. But yeah, I think so far, 2024, Game of the Year, Black Myth Wukong, right now. As of now. Now, other games are coming out. I think Black Ops 6 will be out by the end of the year, I think. And so, like, the beta is apparently pretty good, and so on and so forth. So I really do think that Black Myth Wukong has an even shot to maybe pull through by the end of the year as Game of the Year. We'll see, though. We'll see. So far, up until 9/01/2024, Black Myth Wukong is my Game of the Year. Bellatra should be discussed. I can't discuss it because I haven't played it, Mage. I can't discuss it because I haven't played it. I'm sorry. I have not played it. So I can't say a game that I've not played is better than Black Myth Wukong. Out of the games that I know of, that I am intimately familiar with, even if I haven't played it, I at least know a lot about it. I don't know enough about Bellatra. Maybe it is. I've heard really good things, but I can't count in the lexicon. I'm sorry. I just have to go with what I know. Out of the games that I know, personally, Mage Power, Black Myth Wukong is Game of the Year. But yeah, there we go. If you liked it, if you agree with it, let me know in the comments below. Do you think Black Myth Wukong is your Game of the Year? How do you feel about the numbers? The sales numbers? Oh yeah, let's look at the sales numbers as well. Holy shit. Sales numbers of Black Myth Wukong. I think it's like, dude, 10 million copies across all platforms. You know what this shows, guys? This is as of 2 days ago. You know what this shows? This shows that a good game that is not a 10 out of 10, it's a good game that doesn't screw the player base over, and we're so used to taking it up the ass. A good game can be the best-selling game of the year. This is easily the best-selling game of the year. 10 million copies across all platforms. This is absolutely the best-selling game of the year. 100%. This game made $600 million. And that is only over like a couple of weeks. This number will grow. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And I really hope game makers take note. Game developers, game publishers, if you want a successful game, don't screw over your player base. Just make a good game that is priced correctly. That's all we want. It doesn't even have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be amazing. If it's amazing, great. We would love to have it be amazing. But it isn't amazing. It is just a good game. It is just a great game, maybe. Like, I would say great, not amazing is the cutoff for me. That's an 8 versus a 9. And it's just a good solid 8, which is not a downgrade. I'm not denigrating it. I'm just, giving it the proper scaling, Black Myth Wukong. and it will make you $600 million. That's a huge W. They deserve it. They deserve all the success. This is worth it. What do you guys think? In the comments below, please let me know. And if you like the video, give it a like, give it a sub, share it with your friends. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. We discuss things like this all the time. We discuss lots of good games, lots of bad games, everything in between. And I'll always give to you straight. We always have a fun time. So enjoy it, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.